Welcome to the deep dive. So today we're taking a look at something really crucial in our lives, communication and relationships.
Definitely. It's one of those things everyone deals with.
Exactly. And have you ever been totally sure you were being clear, maybe even, brutally honest,
Mm.
only to find out your message just completely missed the mark with your partner?
Oh, yeah. That feeling is frustrating, isn't it?
It really is. So this deep dive, it's all about exploring why effective communication isn't just about speaking your truth. It's more about truly understanding how your partner receives information. We're pulling insights mainly from this really illuminating YouTube video by Relationship Restored. It's called How to Communicate Effectively with Your Partner, WTW.
Right.
And our mission really is to uncover what it means to actually truly connect.
And that really is the heart of it, isn't it? We're not just aiming to, speak, but to be genuinely heard and understood. For communication to be, well, effective, the message has got to land with the impact you intended.
Right, the intended impact.
Yeah, it means the person receiving it actually gets what you're trying to say, just like
Yeah.
you meant it.
Yeah.
And that kind of changes the whole game.
How so?
Well, it shifts the focus from just like delivering words
Yeah.
to making sure they actually have the right effect on your partner.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. And that brings us straight to this central idea that Dre and Bree, the hosts from Relationship Restored, they really hammer this home.
Mm-hmm. What did they say?
They put it like this. Good communication is an honest communication. It isn't transparent communication. It isn't blunt communication. Good communication is effective communication.
Wow. Okay. That really makes you stop and think, right?
Totally. It's not enough to just think you're being honest or clear.
Right. If your partner isn't actually getting the message the way you meant it.
Then it wasn't good communication.
Exactly. It's a really profound distinction. Dre really emphasized that if the message isn't truly received by your partner, then it doesn't matter how clear or truthful you felt you were being. The communication just wasn't effective. Your intention, well, it kind of becomes secondary if the message doesn't land right.
So it shifts everything from what I said to
what they heard.
Yeah.
And that's such a powerful reframe for anyone who's felt, stuck in those same old arguments.
Yeah, those repetitive communication loops.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It kind of calls us to take responsibility for the outcome of our communication,
Yeah.
Not just the delivery.
Okay, so if effectiveness is the goal, how do we actually do that?
Well, it really seems to boil down to knowing your person, right?
Knowing your person.
Yeah.
Yeah, the video really underscores that. Effective communication, it really depends on understanding your partner's specific language.
Language.
No.
Like love languages or something like that.
Partly that, but also just how they process information, how they receive it. Dre shared this really interesting, kind of funny anecdote about it,
Oh, yeah?
especially when it comes to delivering constructive criticism, which is always tricky. He figured out that if he needed to tell Bree something difficult, something critical,
Yeah.
he had to do it over a meal, preferably steak.
Steak?
Yeah. He kind of chuckled and explained, Bree don't take no crap, I'd be hangry.
Huh. Okay, so being hangry is a factor.
Apparently. So for Bree, being well fed actually puts her in a more receptive state for news that might be hard to hear.
That's actually, it's not just about liking steak, is it?
No, not at all.
It's about figuring out their optimal receiving state for sensitive stuff. Everyone has these unique triggers and comfort zones, right?
Yeah.
Times when they're actually open to hearing things.
Mm-hmm.
And that example from Dre and Bree, it goes way beyond just knowing, their favorite food.
Right. It's deeper.
It's about understanding the specific conditions, the timing, the setting, their mood that make them most open to actually hearing you without just throwing up walls immediately.
Yeah, getting defensive.
Exactly. It kind of makes you think, right?
Yeah.
If you had something critical to say to your partner, what would be the best way? What time? What place? What context would help them hear it without feeling attacked?
That's a really good question to ask yourself. And, that idea connects right into how we show affection, too. Like you mentioned, the whole love languages thing.
Ah, okay. So love languages are part of this partner language.
Totally. Dre used this really vivid analogy. He felt like he was speaking Spanish, showing love in his main love language.
Okay.
But Bree understands Chinese.
Ah, so a total mismatch.
Exactly. No matter how clearly or loudly he spoke Spanish, the message just wasn't getting through to her.
And what was the result for her?
Well, Bree felt unloved. Even though Dre was genuinely trying, making efforts, his expressions weren't in her preferred language, so it just wasn't landing.
That disconnect Dre talked about. It's incredibly common, actually.
I bet.
And Bree gave some really specific examples of what did make her feel loved, right?
Hmm.
Physical touch stuff.
Yeah, like holding hands when they cross the street, or him putting his arm around her in public.
Hmm. Or snuggling right away when they got into bed. Simple things, but for her, those were like clear signals of, I care about you.
Right. Very direct for her.
But then, flip side, Dre's main love language, it's words of affirmation.
Ah, okay.
So when Bree communicated with him using praise or saying thanks, like really appreciating him,
Hmm.
that's what made him feel loved because it shows she was paying attention, she was committed. So it really shows that you have to be intentional, right? You need to consciously choose to show love in the way your partner actually receives it.
Even if it doesn't feel natural to you.
Exactly. Even if it's not your go-to way, it's about adapting your actions so they can actually feel the love you're sending.
Okay, so it's about knowing their language for criticism, knowing their language for love.
Mhm.
But it's still more than just the words or even the specific actions, right?
Absolutely. Effective communication also really depends on other crucial things like
Mhm.
timing, your tone of voice, and all those subtle nonverbal cues.
Yeah, the stuff that's easy to overlook.
Totally. And timing. Timing can be everything.
Right.
The sources pointed out that bringing up something frustrating when your partner is like already mad or stressed about something totally different,
Yeah, bad idea.
it's almost guaranteed to backfire. Their response is going to be colored by whatever mood they're already in, not necessarily how they really feel about what you brought up.
So their current emotion just takes over.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
It overshadows their ability to genuinely hear what you're trying to say. It really makes you think about those times. Maybe you held back, waited for a better moment to talk about something important.
Mm-hmm.
How often did that patience actually lead to a better conversation?
Probably more often than not, I'd guess. I think we've all been there, right? Said the wrong thing at the wrong time
Mm.
or received it.
Yeah, both sides.
And then there's the framing, how you actually say something.
Yeah.
The video had these two really great examples, like side-by-side contrasts.
Oh, yeah. Like what?
Okay, so instead of Bree saying something accusatory like, oh my God, like you forgot to turn the heat on again, apparently Dre leaves the AC super cold and she wakes up freezing.
Okay. Relatable.
She learned to say something more like, hey babe, just a reminder, because it was really cold this morning. Just make sure when you wake up to maybe try to turn the heat on.
Much softer.
Yeah.
Less you messed up.
Exactly. Or another one. Instead of an attacking, you didn't turn the light off in the room yesterday.
Which immediately makes you think, was it me? Maybe it wasn't.
Right. A better way might be, the light was left on.
Mhm.
I don't know who it was, but let's just try to remember to turn it off.
Yeah, that takes the blame right out of it.
Yeah.
It's clear how that blaming language just, boom, puts someone on the defensive.
Instantly.
It often triggers, counterattacks or just shutting down completely. Kills any chance of actually talking productively.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas framing it supportively or just stating the fact without pointing fingers,
Mhm.
it almost always gets a better reaction. Even just softening it a bit like they suggested. Maybe saying, hey, I'm sure you didn't mean to do it, but that can make a huge difference in how it lands.
It makes you think about how, yeah, friendly reminders just work way better than accusations if you actually want cooperation.
Right. It fosters teamwork instead of conflict.
Okay. And one more big one they hit on, those nonverbal expectations. The mind reading trap.
Yeah.
Dre just puts it out there. Men are horrible mind readers. And honestly, I think we're all pretty bad mind readers, regardless of gender, right?
Probably true.
Giving the silent treatment, acting a certain way, sighing loudly, and then expecting our partner to just magically know what's wrong and why we're upset.
Yeah, that seldom works out the way we hope, does it?
Rarely.
It's funny how we rely on those nonverbal cues, isn't it? Like expecting your partner to get it because you should have seen the way I was acting, even though we kind of know it usually fails. The video points out that relying on that stuff often just makes your partner think of every reason other than the reason that you're really upset.
So they guess, but they guess wrong.
Usually, which is why verbal communication is just essential.
Mm.
We can't expect people to read our minds no matter how obvious we think our signals are.
Gotta use your words.
Got to use your words. Clarity is key.
Okay, so all these habits, the good ways and the bad ways of communicating, they don't just pop up out of nowhere, right?
No, definitely not. They're often really deeply rooted in our upbringing, our past experiences.
Yeah, Dre shared a bit about his childhood, said his mom always let me explain myself, let him talk and air out my feelings whenever there were big changes like new schools or whatever.
That sounds pretty healthy.
Yeah, and that kind of environment really helped him become more open, more able to put his feelings into words.
Which is a huge skill in relationships.
Totally. And then that contrasted pretty sharply with Bree's background.
Right. She described it differently, didn't she?
Yeah, she said in her house, people had problems. They just acted out, said things they didn't mean, would fight literally and physically.
Wow. Okay, so very different models of handling conflict.
Totally different. She basically said she wasn't really shown healthy ways to discuss things, so she kind of lacked the tools for it initially.
And that probably made her feel, inadequate sometimes compared to Dre.
Yeah, she mentioned feeling like the problem child next to his, calmer, more mature way of handling things.
But seeing her family dynamics, that must have helped Dre understand where some of her reactions came from.
He said it did. Gave him crucial context, which, builds empathy.
That understanding is so vital.
And it wasn't just childhood stuff for Bree either. She talked about her past relationships, too.
Right, those were difficult, weren't they?
Yeah, she described them as verbally abusive and even physically violent. So that history, understandably, meant her first impulse when she got really frustrated might have been to, throw something.
Which must have been incredibly hard to overcome when trying to build a healthy relationship with Dre.
Can you imagine? Trying to learn new patterns when those old, ingrained responses are your default.
Bree's story there is. Well, it's a really powerful example of how deep that past trauma can go, how it shapes communication.
But it's also a story of growth, right?
Absolutely. A story of profound growth. She talked about realizing Dre is not here to hurt me. And recognizing that his consistency, his love, his patience, it created this safe space for her to actually work on those responses.
Yeah.
That initial need she had for Dre to just leave me alone when she was upset. She said it gradually changed. It went from being her automatic reaction.
Her default setting?
Yeah, her default setting.
Yeah.
To something that happened much less often.
Yeah.
Which shows incredible personal evolution, right? And a growing trust in the relationship.
It really shows how change can happen when partners try to understand each other's intentions and feel that commitment.
Exactly. When that safety and understanding are there.
Okay, so this leads us to another really fundamental piece of all this. Intentionality and having shared goals.
Being purposeful.
Yeah, it's about being purposeful in how you communicate. Thinking about why you're even saying something in the first place.
Well, exactly. Think about how you write a resume.
Right.
Or maybe a formal complaint letter.
Okay.
You choose your words super carefully, right? You always have a specific goal in mind. Get the job, get the problem fixed.
Right. You're strategic.
Totally. But the video contrasts that with relationship communication that often goes wrong because the maybe unconscious goal isn't connection. It's trying to embarrass the person or trying to prove they were wrong and you were right.
Ooh, yeah.
Or maybe just trying to tell the person that they didn't know what they were talking about, basically trying to win.
So maybe the real gut check question before we speak is, am I trying to actually have a conversation here? Or am I just trying to win this argument?
That's a huge, crucial distinction. Because when both people are genuinely aligned on their goals for the relationship.
What they both want long term.
Yeah. Whether it's marriage or just personal growth together or tackling life as a team. When that alignment is there, people are usually way more willing to put in the effort needed for effective communication.
And if they're not aligned?
Well, if one person isn't as committed or they want different things, communication efforts can start to feel really one-sided, kind of pointless even.
Yeah, I can see that.
The video's message here was pretty clear. The level of care to communicate properly comes from somebody wanting to be intentional with you.
That intentionality again. Which leads to maybe the most provocative statement in the whole video.
What was that?
They said, the truth doesn't matter.
Whoa, okay, that sounds wrong, doesn't it? How can the truth not matter?
I know, but it's about the context, again.
Okay, explain.
It means being factually right about something. It's basically irrelevant if you come at her wrong, as Dre put it.
If your delivery makes them defensive.
Exactly. If your partner immediately shuts down because of how you said it, then your truth didn't get heard anyway.
Right. The delivery killed the message.
Totally. Bree even admitted, pretty candidly, that sometimes she'd pull stuff out my butt, like make up things she knew weren't true, things you could easily Google,
Wow.
just to win the argument because she felt attacked or insecure based on how Dre brought something up.
Okay, so the how is just as important, maybe more important sometimes than the what.
Seems like it. And the big takeaway there is like understanding your partner's intent. Believing they don't actually mean to hurt you. That helps so much in being able to receive feedback, even if it's delivered imperfectly.
Yeah, giving them the benefit of the doubt. And knowing it's a two-way street, right? It takes effective sending and mindful receiving.
Mm.
Like Dre said, sometimes you just have to learn your partner's unique code.
Yeah.
You have to figure out that maybe when they say stupid, they don't mean you're stupid. They just mean, this doesn't make sense to me right now.
Learning their specific language.
Exactly. Like learning that green stands for happy in your private relationship code.
Okay, we have covered a lot of ground here. And it's really clear this stuff isn't always easy.
No, definitely not.
Sometimes, even with the best intentions, we just get stuck and maybe need some outside help to figure out these communication knots.
Yeah, and the video did recommend counseling for couples who are really struggling with communication. And honestly, for good reason.
How does counseling help specifically with this?
Well, counselors can kind of act like interpreters, helping clarify where things get lost in translation between partners.
Okay.
They often use really practical exercises like one common one is having one person say how they feel, just state a feeling, and then the partner has to repeat back what they heard that person say before they're allowed to respond with their own thoughts.
Ah, the active listening thing.
Exactly. And that exercise really reveals misunderstandings fast. You often get partners saying, wait, no, that's not what I meant at all.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So counseling provides these actual tools and exercises that couples can take home and apply in their daily lives. It's meant to build skills, not just be a temporary fix or a crutch.
Right, building capacity for better communication. Okay, so this has been a really, really insightful deep dive into all the layers of relationship communication.
It's definitely complex stuff.
For sure. So maybe let's quickly recap the key takeaways for everyone listening.
Good idea.
Okay, first, remember that good communication, it isn't just about being honest or blunt. It's fundamentally about being effective. Did the message land?
Right. Effectiveness first.
Second, really take the time to learn your partner's unique language. How do they specifically receive messages, both good and bad?
Know your receiver.
Third, pay close attention to those crucial things beyond just the words, like timing, your tone of voice, how you frame things.
A whole package, not just the words.
Fourth, recognize how much upbringing and past experiences shape both your own communication style and your partner's. Have some empathy there.
Understand the history.
Yeah. Fifth, try to be intentional in your conversations. Think about your goal. Are you aligned on your bigger relationship goals?
Purpose and alignment.
Crucial.
And finally, number 6. Don't be afraid to seek professional help, like counseling, if you feel stuck and need some better tools or guidance.
Absolutely. There's no shame in getting help to improve things.
So yeah, it really seems to all circle back to understanding the intent behind the communication, doesn't it? Not just getting hung up on the literal words.
Exactly. When you truly know and understand your partner, you start to decode their unique communication style, their language.
You learn that maybe when they use that specific word or act in that particular way, it means something specific to them, something you've learned through your shared history. It's about building that shared code, that unique understanding between the two of you.
Developing your own relationship shorthand almost.
Yeah, exactly like that.
Okay, so as you're thinking about all this, maybe consider the last time you felt truly, genuinely heard by your partner. Or, flip side, the last time you really struggled to make yourself understood. Was the main problem really in what you said? Or was it more about how it was received? And maybe think, what's just one small shift, one little change you could make to be more effective in your next conversation?